Hey there, nice to see you again on this channel. So in today's movie I want to talk a little bit about how to deal with your crazy monkey mind in the ocean. You're probably surfing, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this channel. Or maybe you're not surfing and maybe you just like using the metaphor of surfing to understand more about yourself and spirituality. Either way, that's awesome. Thanks so much for watching. So, our monkey mind, our crazy monkey mind, would just keeps on saying stuff. Keeps on talking to us. How do we deal with this in the ocean in a way that it's actually going to serve us? In a way that's going to be beneficial for us? So let's talk a little bit about the function of the mind. One of the functions of the mind is really to keep us safe. What the mind does is basically take all the theory that you've ever read, that you've ever learned, and apply whatever is needed at that very moment to the situation. So let's give an example. An example of you being surfing in the fog and you had a pretty bad experience. Now it's foggy again and you go into the ocean and your mind will remember. Your mind will have remembered the surf session from before. And it's going to warn you about the potential dangers because it has associated fog with danger. Because last time you didn't have a good experience in the fog. Unless you had 10 sessions in the fog after where you have a good experience, it's very likely that this time your mind is going to be chattering to you. The function of the mind is to really keep you safe, to keep you protected. And let's be honest, that's pretty awesome because it's nice to feel safe. It's nice to feel protected. So the good thing to realize is that the mind is not such a bad thing. It is just there trying to help. Think of your friend giving advice and you don't really want to hear it, you don't think it's very useful, but it's still coming from a place of love. It's still coming from a place of wanting the best for you. Not sure whether this fly is also coming from a place of wanting the best for me, but already gone. So, fighting the mind doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, what we can do is watching the mind, and this is what I like to do, or not really like to do, but what I do when I go into the ocean. I watch the mind and I see, hey, what kind of associations, what kind of stories have I created? Let's take the example of the fog again, and your mind is being like, ooh, no, go out, it's dangerous, go out. I'm like, hey, okay, that's interesting information. I look around and I check the potential danger and I realize actually it's not dangerous. And I realize that this story that I've created about the fog is not serving me at the moment anymore. And then I get a chance to rewrite the story. So I sometimes just end up speaking with my mind. You have nothing to do anyway when you're waiting for the waves. You just speak to the mind and you say, hey, thanks for the information, but actually it's safe. Fog doesn't necessarily mean danger. I'm okay. And this way you get an invitation to rewrite your story, to recreate your story. So I advise you really when you're in the ocean, watch the mind. Don't try to stop it, just watch the chatter and see, hey, what is my counselor saying to me? And is this really helpful for me? If it is, awesome. Take it. Take it by heart and listen to it. If it's not helpful for you at that moment, which is quite likely, you can recreate it and you can make a different story for yourself. That way you can actually start to reprogram the mind in a way that it's not just a monkey mind chattering to us, but it is useful. Because sometimes, just like now, it's thundering, it's not a great idea to go in the ocean. And it's great that the mind is trying to protect us. But when it's foggy, you might want to overcome the fear and the emotions that you've had last time, and you might want to feel free again. Free to surf even when it's a little foggy. So you're really playing with the mind when you're in the ocean. Just like you're playing with the waves when you're in the ocean, you're also playing with the mind. See it as a game. And your task is to become the best at the end of this game, the best for you. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. But just make sure that at the end of the time, at the end of the day, this monkey mind is going to start to work for you and not against you. And the more you will start to do this, the more you will realize that the mind is actually not such a bad thing. It's pretty awesome. It's just trying. And it needs a little bit of instruction and direction, just like all of us sometimes need to work in a way that really works for you in the ocean. Also, not fighting the mind, but working with it, playing with it, co-creating with it, really allows the mind already, at least in my case, to be much calmer. And sometimes you're a little bit more grumpy, you're a little bit more emotional, you have a little bit less energy, then the mind tends to speak up more. It's just like that. So this is why we say that champions are really made in those moments. Because those moments are super, super cool moments to show your mental strength and to have a chat to the mind and see where you want to twist it, how you want to twist it in a way that it's really motivating you to become the best surfer that you can possibly be, and to really only make you aware of dangers when they're really there in front of you. So ideally we want the mind to really be aligned with the present moment, with the waves that are actually in front of us, rather than the mind playing a story from the past. And this is what often happens in the people that I help and that I guide. It's that they're stuck in a story from the past that is not actually true anymore for them at this very moment. It is not true, but because their mind keeps on repeating it, their body keeps on responding to it, and they're stuck in this story of the past, and it's actually turning into a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's actually being recreated into reality. So changing the mind really helps to anchor the body in the present moment, to keep the body calm so that the body can function and can focus on the task at hand, which is catching those amazing waves that are there in front of you. In the fog, in the rain, doesn't matter. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if there's any topics that you want me to make a video on. And yeah, definitely check out our retreats, combining surfing and spirituality, and surfing and personal development, because there's so much more to surfing than just the physical act of surfing alone. Sending you all the best and happy surfing.